Hello everybody, this is Toys R Us, and for this Generation 1 figure showcase and review, we're going to be looking at the quite elusive 1993 lightformer Ironfist figure. So we're going to have a look at him in both of his modes to help you decide how you want to display him. Because he's vintage, I'm going to point out things that you need to be aware of if you have to purchase him one for yourself. He's got this incredibly cool gimmick, to be honest, but it's also an accessory that's pretty much just as big as he is. So hopefully I'm going to be able to show you just how that works. I'm going to show you his Decepticon Nemesis, which of course was Calcar, and again had the same sort of gimmick. And I'll also quickly bring in the Trakkons as well, who also had the same gimmick as well. So loads to get through in this video, so as I just start to pop all these back, I'd like to remind anybody who's not subscribed to the channel, if you'd like to hit that subscribe button for me now, please. And let's start off with these then. So this is Ironfist, and this is the Generation 1 version. Now, I know that there was a version of this guy that was pretty much exactly the same that came out in 1994. This is the 1993 Generation 1 version, and the way that you can tell is because he comes in a box like this. The Generation 2 versions came in like a blister bubble, a bit like the Dinobots. So the boxed version, as you can see, we've got some actual product images there, and I'm pretty sure this is a multi-language bilingual box, which you can see there. So you've got the European languages, and of course I'm pretty sure these were available in Canada as well. Funnily enough, there is his Nemesis there, which you can see Calcar on the underside of the box, sorry, the top of the box. And we've still got some robot points, I think, there, even though that is the Generation 2, I suppose, logo. You can sort of see why these are referred to as G1.5, but this, as I say, we were quite lucky in Europe, in the UK, that these did come out. Right, there's a lovely battle scene there. I'm going to lift this up, and I'm going to suggest, if you want to read this, that you pause it now. And indeed, then again, you can pause there. So that's the packaging, the instructions that come with him. Again, it's quite simple. I'm probably not going to do the transformation process, and honestly, I might upload that separately just because I really don't want to damage it. But it's as simple as folding the legs out, folding the arms out, and the top. But you never know, I might have a quick go at putting it up separately for you, just to give you an idea. Right, let's move the box out of the way. In fact, I'm going to hope, and I'm going to try, that I can get this gimmick to work for you. I managed to get it working for Calcar, and I think for the Trakkon. So what you've got going on here is you've got some really clever, and you can see it, light piping. So you can see it with the light shining on it anyway. There's some like red lasers, and when you look through it, it looks like these are firing. You can just about make them out to where the mirror is anyway, inside there. But when this fires, it's really cool when you're looking at it. You've got like these red laser beams shooting forward, which, as I say, is just a nice little touch, to be fair. I just thought that that could fold up, but it won't. You've also, of course, got the fact that this spins around backwards and forwards. I can't remember what they call it. There's a special name for that, and it's the same gimmick as what the Pretender does as well. But there you go, that works there. Now this has got two functions, one in the alternate mode where it just fits on the roof like so. As I say, the accessory's huge. The accessory isn't even as big as the actual thing. Now the main problem with this is loose joints, which, to be fair, I can show you on another copy. This one's pretty bad though, so there's half the transformation, and that indeed is why this guy ends up in the alternate mode. So that is something to be aware of. The translucent plastic, I think, is amazing. Each wheel is individually pinned, but you need to be aware of corrosion inside there. And also, because the colours are so bright, they do tend to fade quite easy. Now, I was thinking, is that die cast or is it just plastic? And I wasn't sure. It's definitely plastic. I just thought the way it had been chipped, it might have been die cast. Now, the cool thing with this, I suppose, is that if you don't have the accessory, you can still display him in either mode. You don't necessarily need it. It is, of course, just a nice bonus if you've got it. But if you haven't got one, then you can still get away with it, shall we say. Before we have a quick look at the rest of the stuff, I'm pretty sure that this is based on him. He was called Fisitron, and I'm sure, as I say, I think it's because something to do with they couldn't have the name or whatever. I'm not too sure, but let me know in the comments. But I'm absolutely adamant that this guy is based on him, and I think he was either Collector's Club or a BotCon exclusive, but he was something of that ilk anyway. Right, let's move him out of the way. Let's very quickly, in fact, no, let's keep him there then, and you can see this here. This is something else to be aware of as well. So funnily enough, this one is broken. You can see it just goes goes straight through there. There's no glass, so that is something to be aware of. It's really annoying me that I've forgotten what that's called. And also sometimes it's not uncommon to see these broke and damaged either, because there are two parts to them. The huge dowel I've never seen broken, to be honest. You'd expect maybe to see it snapped off in the roof, but that is something that I've definitely not seen. I suppose just as a quick size comparison guide for you, there is one of the many uses of that particular jazz mold, and funnily enough I've got a few other random figures here just to give you an idea of size. That's exactly the same size as a G1 Optimus Prime, it's just the Diaclone version. And where's all the rest of the figures gone? I did have a Earthrise one, which I will find in a second, but that is a Transformers 1, which you can see there. So quite, I suppose, what you'd class as a deluxe size figure, to be honest, in this day's, I suppose, terminology. Nowhere near as big as anything like Voyager class, just absolutely nowhere near as big as anything like that, as you can see. Right, let's move into the robot mode then. So let's just move him. In fact, I'm going to take him out of the way in case it tries to focus. Nearly lost him. Right, here is the robot mode, and as I say, I'm quite fortunate with this. The stickers do look really good. They're not damaged in any way, shape or form, and most important, he is nice and sturdy. There is translucent plastic for the headlights. There is light piping in the eyes, which is just brilliant, which is, to be fair, what most of the G1.5 whatever they're referred to as figures have. It was just a really crazy color scheme that they pretty much all used. Articulation wise, you're gonna laugh. It's this: arms up. You can't even say that's a bicep flexion because it's the polar opposite way. That would, if it was a human, obviously it would just snap straight in at the joint. There is nothing else. Oh no, I'm fibbing. There is waist rotation, that is it. The legs are all fused, the upper body is fused, and that's pretty much it with regards to them. But as I say, the most important thing was the fact that you could do the cool thing, which would just be to pick this up and then you could extend it all the way out. You can see that these two tabs there are going to fit into the hands like so. So we'd rest one in there and we'd pop one in there as well, and then that's a huge mounted cannon, assault thing, whatever it is, and there you go. It still works like so. There is that. As I say, there's not much more to have already pointed out the corrosion perhaps potentially in the wheels. So let's have a look at him against his nemesis, which was Calcar, and I don't know what it is, guys. I'm sure you'll probably agree, there's just something about Decepticon color schemes that tend to just really work, don't they? I mean, this just looks, I think it just looks that little bit meaner. I've just pulled that off by accident, so let's reattach that. So there is both robot modes, and here is both alternate modes. So you can see Decepticons get a sports car, Autobots get like an off-road terrain vehicle. Let's move them out of the way very quickly then. Let's just bring in the trakkons. So these were the lightformers? Let me make sure I'm telling what I'm right. Yeah, these were the lightformers, Autobot and Decepticon, and there's Decepticon trakkon, with Deftwing. All of these came with these huge accessories. I obviously haven't brought them into this video because I can't fit them on screen, but if you want to see individual reviews for these, Deftwing, I've just forgotten, they're both called trakkons, Fierce Swoop, Calcar and Ironfist. But there you go, guys. Hope you enjoyed looking at them. They're just a quite unique set of figures, shall we say. Let me know what you think in the comments. Take care.